Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Welcome to Dr. Sonya Hylton Live. And this is Sonya. And today we are on day 17 of developing that new habit of paving our way with gratitude, love, forgiveness, and asking for guidance. And today I'm going to talk a little bit about guidance. You know, there are times when an idea comes to you and you don't have an audience to share the idea with as it is coming to you. And so what do? You write it down. It's coming so fast, but there's no one to speak to about it. You write it down. And after you have written it down and you try to recapture that feeling, it never happens. You can't even repeat what it is that you just said to yourself. And that is why Earl Nightingale says, ideas are like slippery fish. When they come, you've got to spear them, because if you don't, they will slither away and may never return. And that happens to us all the time. So this is sort of what happened to me while I was getting ready to do this presentation. So I'll read some of what it is that I wrote down about asking for help. What should I do? Now, sometimes there's a situation and you really don't know what to do. And what it is that we're tapping into what we know, our five senses, what our five senses can detect. That's what we're tapping into to solve a particular situation. But there's a bigger part of us called the subconscious self that has all the knowledge there is. And that is where most of our answers will come from. We're just not aware of it. And so when we sit and ask for guidance, that is what we're actually doing. And I use what came to me was the analogy of the keyhole. Now, if you're a younger person, you might not even know what a keyhole is. But they still do make doors where you can actually look through that place that you put the key in. There's a keyhole and you can see what is happening on the outside. What's happening outside of your door. Let's say your front door, you have a keyhole in the lock and you can actually look through the lock and see who is at the door. Well, now we are making doors where you can see through the keyhole. So they put these little magnifying glass on some of these doors where if somebody knocks at the door, you can go look through the magnifying glass and see who is there. But guess what? Your view is only limited to what's in the vicinity of the keyhole, what's in the range of the keyhole or through that little magnet that you look through. That's what you see. And if you think about your conscious mind and your subconscious mind, your conscious mind is that little keyhole. You can only see what's in the range of the keyhole. When you want to see what's outside of your door, you open the door and you see everything. And that is what happens when you open your mind and acknowledge the fact that there is a subconscious mind, there is a part of you that is just absolutely huge, that knows everything and is everywhere. Then you have access to everything. And when you do your guidance exercises in the morning, that's what you're tapping into, that other part of you. So a situation happened to me at work. And, when you start understanding how the universe works and realize that everything that is happening to you is a result of some thoughts that you have, then you don't sort of get bent over by the things that happen. You just go and straighten them out, right? And it was a situation that I had never really encountered, and I wondered, how did this happen? And I know how it happened. I had actually criticized some work someone had done. And of course, I put out those thoughts, those seeds of criticism. And whatever you sow, so shall you reap in huge abundance. So that criticism came back at me it was just so abundant that wasn't even the person who I was. So my supervisor got involved and she said, Sonya, what this lady is saying about you, that's not you. And I said, I agree, but it is what it is. So, my supervisor, the person she is, she's like, well, you know what? I'll bring the lady in and both of you can sit and, you can understand your point of view, her point of view. You have different pressures in the workplace and, yada, yada, yada. So I said, do what you need to do. And so I said to myself, how am I going to really handle the situation? How am I going to handle it? And so one day I'm at work and I had a little downtime. So I picked up my library. I always, that's my library right there, Kindle. And I started leafing through, there we go. I started leafing through all my books that I have on here. And I stopped at a particular book. I just stopped there. And I started thumbing through the book. And I just stopped at a particular page. And I started reading. And at that page, this book was written in the 1800s. It was talking about a situation with one of the kings of England, like you have King George the First, the Second, those type of kings who had Roman numerals behind their names. And he had a controversy with the bishop, or with his bishop, because, they always had a bishop. And everyone just knew that the king was going to get the bishop's head. Whatever was going on, it was not going to end nice for the bishop. Now, I guess the bishop sensed it. So when the both of them met, there was a situation, everybody around them, and everybody just going to see what's going to happen. What did the bishop do? The bishop just ran to the king, hugged him, and kissed him. Totally disarmed the bishop. Totally disarmed the king. The bishop, by hugging and kissing the king, totally disarmed him. So whatever the king had in mind, what sort of negative things he had in mind to do to the bishop, how can you do that to somebody who just totally hugged, loved on you, and kissed you? And so whatever controversy they had, that ended right there and then. And so what that told me is that whatever controversy is going on, that I had sown the seeds for, and that's why I was reaping, if the situation came, like what my supervisor was trying to bring both of us together, just shower that person with love. And it taught me that when anything negative is happening with someone else, you brought it on some which way or other, how to treat it. That is what that lesson taught me. And so asking for guidance, you don't know how it's going to show up. It's not a case where trumpets are going to be sounding. No, it's just regular ordinary things like me opening up taking my little library, my phone where my Kindle has how many hundreds of books, and thumbing through, and I happened to meet on a book and went to a page that showed me exactly what it is that I am to do in the situation that had arisen. But you have to be in a vibration to receive this guidance when it comes. And so cleansing your mind of not forgiving people, showing love, giving thanks, these are the things that help you maintain a vibration where you can receive the answer to whatever you're asking for, where you can receive the guidance. This is how it works. So you might have a situation in your life where there's just drama and you're hoping for, harmony. You have to ask for harmony. You have to ask for harmony, because there are some people who believe it will just automatically come. No. Why? Because you're thinking all the time. You're giving to the creator in you, to the universe, to God, whatever way you want to call it. It doesn't matter. You're giving that out. You're thinking all the time. And when you're thinking, you're forming images and having emotions, and that has been created in your life. So if you particularly want harmony, you're going to meditate and ask for harmony. You've got to do that. Because if you don't take the time out to carve out that little piece of thing that you want to ask for, you are getting the things that you're unconsciously asking for all the time without even realizing it. That is what actually is happening. You've got to ask for what you want until, you know, you become such a unconscious competent that you're wearing that armor of forgiveness and gratitude and love and all of that all the time, that you don't even have to consciously ask for it. Because remember, your beliefs is what you keep getting in your life all the time. And welcome, welcome. All right, I don't want to totally demolish your name, so but welcome. So this is how it works. So keep asking for guidance. Keep seeing in your mind's eye the result that you want. You will be guided. Thank you. You will be guided towards the result that you want, because everything happens by laws, by spiritual laws. We live in, our personality comprised of three aspects all the time: the physical aspect, the mental or intellectual, and the spiritual. We know everything about this, the physical world, you know, the law of gravity and all of that stuff. We know that. What we don't know of is that in our spiritual part of us, where the thoughts are, there are also laws. Spiritual laws. And because we're always thinking, those laws come into play all the time. All the time. So be aware of this. Keep asking. It's happening to every single person because we keep thinking. And whatever you keep thinking all the time keeps happening. We only get what we see. You know, what you see is what you get. So you're going to see it in your mind's, well, your mind's eye, you know, your mind's eye, not the physical eye, in your mind's eye. That is what you will be saying. Okay? And because we don't know this, that there's spiritual laws, that there's a spiritual part of our personality, then we use the most powerful raw material that we have, which is our thoughts, to create things that we do not really want in our life. Thoughts, the most powerful form of energy. We are using it to create for ourselves all the time. So now we know a little bit more, we can be more discriminate in the thoughts that we choose to give attention to. All right? So keep asking for guidance, keep giving gratitude, keep giving love, and keep giving asking forgiveness for yourself and for others. Until next time, this is Sonia. Have a fantastic day.